Drake? Drake? He died of natural causes.
You pushed him off the roof.
Yeah, gravity. It's natural.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
He's gonna buy you a house. Are you serious? Oh my god, man, that is so. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh my god.
Welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Ellen. I'm a content creator. I'm Goth, I'm Black. We're here today because I've been seeing all over my feed that Drake is dating a Goth Baddie. Drake is dating a Goth Baddie. And I didn't know who it was at first because I just didn't care. Like, I don't care anything about Drake or what he does. No offense to him or anything. But first of all, I don't even really listen to a lot of rap music. And I don't really be in the loop with what's going on with celebrities and who they're dating or not. I feel like that's not really news to me. I don't really care about these things. But then I have seen the clips of what they were referring to, and
Good. People are mocking Drake after watching him get treated like a dog by a goth girl accused of having cosmetic work. During a recent 20 vs. 1 dating show, several women competed for Drake's attention, but streamer Pink Chew quickly became his favorite. She even asked him to bark like a dog, and Drake actually did it in front of everyone. The situation became more controversial when Pink Chew asked if he could help buy her mother a house. Drake did not agree immediately, but said he would consider it. Some viewers could not believe she made such a big request so soon after meeting him. Drake's fans then started digging into Pink Chew's past. They shared old photos showing that she looked very different before losing weight, changing her makeup and getting what she called enhancements. Although cosmetic surgery has not been confirmed, many people accused her of hiding her real appearance. Others also called her a fake goth, claiming her goth image was only an online character. Her past connection with streamer Tectone was brought up as well, adding more attention to the controversy. Some fans now believe Pink Chew misled Drake and used the show for money and attention. However, others say exposing her old photos is unfair and that changing her appearance does not mean she tricked anyone. What do you think?
Are you into role play?
Like
Silly?
silly.
A little silly?
Yeah. I am absolutely, by the way, you can look me dead in my eyes. If you say do it, I would fully
Okay. You're saying this, and now I'm gonna test it.
Okay. What do we, just give me one.
Would you bark for me? Good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
it's that girl Pinky Chew. Now, I didn't know who Pinky Chew was. I did recognize her from that Goth Pop the Balloon challenge.
To the group chat! You have Pink looking for the love of your life. All right, Pink, tell me.
But other than that, I don't follow her or any of the girls that post content like this. And I'm not trying to police what type of content other people post or whatever. That's not, my whole problem. So the reason why it's a concern to me is because I keep seeing videos like this.
Tell me, do you dream of being a vampire?
This is how we're represented. Unbelievable.
These videos are along the lines of, some of them are like, Pinky Chew is ruining the goth community because she's profiting on goth stereotypes that we work so hard to get away from, and it's causing real harm to the community. And I already made a video about this a couple of months ago, basically saying, is it the worker or is it the industry? Which came first? Who's really the villain in these situations? And it's a very nuanced conversation. So if you want a deeper dive into how I feel about that, then I recommend going to this video here. And that's a whole other conversation. So my concern is I keep seeing videos where girls are posting oh, I was putting on black lipstick and then I remembered that Drake is dating the Goth Baddie and then I took it off. And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell does who Drake dates have to do with me and what the fuck I put on my goddamn lips. or any type of makeup or style that I wear. Or like people will post videos and they'll be like, existing as a goth, I'm about to go out. Then I remember that Drake is dating Pinky Chew. And then I go change to some basic. It's like, what the hell does who Drake dates have to do with what the fuck I put on my body? Like, I can't.
Fuck, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm still in the motherfucking house. I'm still in the motherfucking house. I don't give a fuck. Do I look like I give a fuck? Because I don't.
So people are just getting sick of being compared to Pinky Chew because she is, a very visible person. So when I was doing research for this video, I saw that she had like 2 million followers on TikTok, which I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know she was that popular, to be honest, because I don't really see content like this on my feed unless somebody else is calling it out, how problematic it is, or something like that. But it's not something that's naturally on my feed. So I was just like, okay, what the hell did I do with me? And so when I saw like the comments and saw more nuanced conversation was happening, basically what's happening is that a lot of goth girls feel like Pinky Chew, her brand, and other women like her are ruining the goth scene. They're profiting on negative stereotypes and it's causing real harm to the community, not just for like people who are actually goth, but people who are goth adjacent, because the normies, they don't know the difference between someone that's goth, someone that's emo, punk, ribbit head, or whatever. Like anybody that's pale with dark hair automatically goth. And it's causing people to have just really weird interactions with the public, which we were just starting to get away from as a society, but now it's like taking us back. And a lot of people feel like it's negative stereotypes like this that causes real harm to real people, because they're cosplaying as like a mentally unstable, mentally unwell, kind of deranged girl. And real people with real mental health problems that are not goth, that act similar to this because that's their mental state, are being fetishized. And it's the people that are in facilities, mental health facilities, hospitals, rehab, jails, and such, and people that are caregivers of disabled people that kind of naturally have a similar attitude, similar voice, similar cadence, or whatever, that are actually the most vulnerable to sexual assaults, and it's causing real harm in that way. And not to mention that a lot of people associate goth with a youth-based subculture, even though it started in the 80s, and a lot of people that were goth in the 80s are still around. They're in their 50s or 60s, 70s, 80s. A lot of them, are parents who have kids that are our age. Some of them are even grandparents. So for it to be seen as just a youth-based subculture, it just doesn't make any sense. But my whole point in bringing that up is that there's a lot of girls that are in middle school, high school age that are literally children, and because this content is being promoted, they are being harassed by kids their age, and they're also being harassed by adults who are inundated with this type of content. And I just have mixed feelings about the content itself. All I say is that don't blame the workers for participating in the system that we're in, where this is the type of work that people have to resort to pay their bills and such, because there's a lot of economic turmoil happening now that is making people turn to SW work and content creation. And a lot of people who are in this line of work are marginalized in other ways, and they can't find work in any other regard because of disabilities, and too many isms going on where this is the line of work that they have to go to. I don't know Pinky's situation before she became this famous goth girl on the internet. I don't know her background or anything. I'm not gonna make assumptions or whatever, but most people who go into this line of work, they're not in a good place in life. And that's not a dig, but I'm just saying that, a lot of people that go towards this line of work, they're doing so because they're in a very vulnerable state. So I don't think that it's helpful to try to blame her or any other content creator that makes content like this for the over sexualization of the goth community, because at least she's able to profit off of her own work instead of some man taking her likeness, put it on the internet through like AI or something, and generating that content and making all the profit. Like at least she, as a woman, is able to profit off of her work herself instead of having a man be in charge of that. Because what I've noticed about, the SW conversation is that when people have criticisms of people in this line of work, it's never geared towards the consumers of this type of work and the people who create a demand for it to begin with. It's never a criticism of the people who exploit young women and girls and push them into this line of work and do all these things to ostracize them from society so that it's harder for them to escape. The criticism is always geared towards the woman. And I feel like this conversation is nuanced in a way that is kind of turning misogynistic. And I feel like we're inundated with a lot of conservative propaganda and it's infiltrating the goth community. And this is one of those ways where people are mad at Pinky for existing in the way that she does and blaming her for the over sexualization of the goth community and the real harm that it does instead of critiquing, right? Instead of critiquing, what makes the demand for this? Who's buying the content? Who, like, yeah, she's selling it, but who buying it? What's going on in their minds? Who's consuming this? What's going on with them? And, like, we're not having conversations with parents of young boys who consume this type of content and, try to steer them in the right direction and try and educate them about women's rights, misogyny, how exploitative SW can be for women, and all of that. Instead, all the blame is Pinky Chew is ruining the goth community and whatnot. That, like, this is a very nuanced conversation. But I just want to know, if you're goth, if you dress goth, if you appear as a goth person and you dress alternatively, you wear black lipstick, especially if you're pale, you're more likely to be compared to someone like Pinky Chew. No one's gonna look at me and be like, "You remind me of Pinky Chew because I'm black." Like, it's just not gonna happen. But for the paler goths who do kind of favor her in some way, does this make you want to pull back from wearing alternative fashions? Does this make you want to stop wearing black lipstick so you can stop being compared to Pinky Chew? Because people are sharing screenshots and DMs they've gotten from people, that's what we'll call them to be nice, saying like, "Oh, can I be your Drake? And you can be my goth girl." And it's just like, ew. How about no? First of all, Drake is literally a multi-millionaire and he bought her mom a house. Are you going to buy my mom a house? No, because she's dead. But the point is, in order for that whole dynamic to work, you would have to be a multi-millionaire successful man in order to realistically be my Drake as a goth girl that you want to fetish. I don't get how we got here. I never even heard of this show that they're on, to be honest. I don't watch this show. I never even heard of this show. The only reason why I know about it is because specifically these clips of Drake and Pinky Chew where she asks him to bark for her. And he does. And people have been making edits of that. But if people were not talking about this show, if they weren't talking about the clips, if they weren't talking about the content, if they weren't making a big deal of, "Oh my gosh, Drake got Goth Baddie, look at him," I swear I would not know anything about it if other people weren't calling it out on my end of the internet. Because I don't follow Pinky Chew, I don't follow Drake, and I never even heard of that damn show that they were on where all of this went down. And I still haven't gone out to watch the episode or anything because, like, I don't want to be mean, but the way that Pinky Chew and these other goth girls on the internet be acting, especially when I did the video on the Pop the Balloon challenge.
We're gone! We're gone! Yay! We like Bauhaus and Sisters of Mercy. And the politics and the system. Yeah!
It's a bit insufferable because nobody actually talks like that. Nobody actually acts this way. Like, this is clearly a character that she's doing to cater into certain male fantasies that like to infantilize and fetishize women in the goth community. And, she is profiting on a lot of negative stereotypes, but it's like, okay, but who's paying? Like, yeah, she's profiting, but who's paying the profits for her to profit from? That should be the focus of the conversation, not necessarily getting hate towards her or other creators like that. I still don't really listen to a lot of rap music, to be honest. I didn't start getting into rap music until maybe like the 2020s. and I only listen to like a girly pop rap like Meg or Doja Cat or something like that. I'm really not interested in most rap music, and that's no offense to rappers. I'm not saying anything derogatory towards them or anything like that. It's just not the type of music that I naturally gravitate towards. Most of the music I listen to is goth, rock, alternative. I feel like for the last 2 months I've been listening to nothing but Michael Jackson, which Michael Jackson isn't goth, but he had his goth adjacent eras. He was a goth baddie in the bad era. I feel like he was in his goth vampire era towards his mature era. He had the layers, he had the bundles, and like he was wearing like the suits, the jackets, and everything. I just feel like his style was so good. And I feel like if he was a white man, people would be like, "Oh my gosh, we love him. He's so alternative or whatever." But I feel like because he's black, he doesn't really get that credit. But that's a different conversation for a different day. My whole point is that I don't listen to rap music for the most part, and I'm really out of the loop with a lot of celebrity drama, celebrity gossip, or whatever. I don't follow any type of creators that talk about celebrity drama, celebrity gossip, or whatever. I unfollowed a lot of people in recent months who do because I'm like, I actually don't care about what's going on with celebrities, reality TV shows. I cannot with true crime or anything like that. I need to watch things that are uplifting, engaging, supportive, encouraging, inspiring. I want to watch people interview people who are successful doing the things that they're doing, and I want to see people pick their brain to see how they got the success that they have, and the steps they took to get successful, and all the things. Like I just needed to do a pivot in the content that I engage in personally. And so I feel like I'm out of the loop in a lot of ways when it comes to these things. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more of me, I'm definitely posting more actively. I'm trying to hit my goal of getting 4,000 watch time hours by the end of this year. So if you want to follow along the journey and see how things are going, I'm going to be doing like monthly updates to show you guys like how close I've gotten, where I started, and where I'm going and all of that. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon at the very like basic level, and that's just like to help to support me. If you want to join my mail club, I send out monthly art. Like every month, it's a new theme. This month's theme is like a goth carousel. I'm gonna put some clips here, and here, where it's like a goth merry-go-round with the horses that are skeletons, and I have like ghosts and bats, and it's just like it's just such a cool goth carnival vibe that really celebrates the tail end of summer for the month of August. I will keep you guys posted on September. So if you want to join my Patreon to support my YouTube at the base level, and if you want to join my mail club, which is only $8 a month and it's free shipping, so there's no like shipping fees because I'm sending you guys an envelope. Everything fits into an envelope. I can send you guys an envelope. Even if you're international, I've sent a few letters internationally. I just need to buy international stamps, but that's fine. It's no problem. But yeah, like all the links will be below. If you're curious about my makeup, I'm going to post like all of the links down below, and I'll be adding in the new products that I'm using that I like and everything down in the comments below. I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you later.
This video has been circulating around. Basically, Drake bought this girl a house, her mom a house, and it's really cool, right? Like, seeing a celebrity do something for somebody is cool, even though she probably has a bunch of money. But the thing I hate about, like, seeing this is that this girl is not goth. So you've probably seen other clips of her before, and she's had some viral clips of, like, of her behavior on like the 20v1 shows and blah blah blah, and with like other goth girls. But a lot of thing about these OF goth girls is that they're not really goth. They're not even really alternative. They're kind of like LARPing it. Being goth is so much more than just an appearance and like what you like put on for other people. It goes down to politics, what you wear, the music you listen to, all that type of stuff. It's not just one thing. And these OF girls, like, get your money. Like, I'm not going to take you from getting your money. If that shit works, that shit works. But the people consuming it just lump these girls as being goth and then see actual goth people as something different. And it's kind of fucked up. I wouldn't consider myself goth. I think I'm alternative. I don't really dress alternative, but I would consider myself alternative. And it kind of just sucks seeing them, like, bring this culture down because it just sexualizes it and over-sexualizes it to the point where it's like, oh, goth mommy, goth dummy mommy. Like, these girls are really just taking what it means to be goth and making it some sexual fantasy for people and not actually expressing what the culture means in the lifestyle. It's fucked up, but if it gets some money, like, shit, get your money. Fuck it. Fuck it. It really puts more focus on the men that say this shit in the TikTok comments and all the other shit. And, like, Sucks, bro.
I have a story for you. Okay, so I am gonna speed this up because I talk really slow. I work at the Hot Topic that Drake filmed his new music video in with Pinky Chew, the goth girl, and oh my god. When I heard that Drake was going to film in my Hot Topic, I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. First of all, why doesn't he film at the OVO? There's literally an OVO in the same mall upstairs. Like, why doesn't he just do that? It's his store, technically. Second of all, I mean, free publicity for our store, I guess. I mean, this could bring in customers. I don't know. Come to find out, Drake is one of those guys. And you know what? I'm gonna give him a little credit here. I thought he was one of those guys who have been repulsed by goth women. And he probably is, because she's not real goth. Like, he probably is repulsed by goth women, like, if he sees, like, a woman in, like, full trad goth, or, like, modern day goth with, like, what I'm wearing right now. He probably would be like, ew, what the hell? And that, you know what? I have no words. I can't believe I let this abomination and this girl in my store. It's not my store, I'm a sales associate, not a manager, but you know what? It is my store now. And I just want to say, even though I am also from Toronto, Drake, you are not welcome in my neighborhood. Do not step foot in my neighborhood, Drake. Don't ever let your ass show in my neighborhood. Like, it's over for you. It's over. I have an issue with this. Drake finally finds his goth baddie. Drake barks for a goth girl during his dating show. Oh my god. I don't know how many people realize this, but this is the active objectification of alternative women and fetishization of a subculture that has existed since the 1980s. Obviously, this is not to hate on sex workers, but porn culture has severely damaged the image of what it is to be goth. They are taking a culture that is so rich and so full and authentic and diluting it into a caricature for the patriarchy, which is crazy because this entire subculture exists to rebel against society and to be different, step out of the box, and to make it something for men to beat off to is not okay. And it's the way that they're referring to this woman. I don't know her name. They never use her name. Has anyone noticed that? That's intentional. That's intentional. They don't want her to be an actual living, breathing human being. No, she exists for men to own. She exists for men to use. Goth baddie, goth girl. It's objectifying. It's belittling. It's crazy. This isn't Pornhub. This is real life. And that's not even a goth. Sorry. A big part of the goth subculture is politics. No goth woman would be seen dating known pedophile Drake. That's a poser. And you might be like, oh, why does this matter? Who cares? I care. I care because this does matter, because this is why people do not take actual alternative women seriously. They think one of two things, and I know this from living my life. One would be either they immediately fetishize you, okay? And two would be if they see an actual goth woman, okay? Like, let's say she has a shaved head and a very, very large gauge septum. They think she's a freak, she's weird. When that's what an actual goth is. Obviously, once again, this is not to hate on sex workers, but this is not goth. That is a mockery. Here are some real goth women, so you know what I'm talking about here. Susie Sue, duh. Patricia Morrison, Vampira, Skin, Jessica Adams, Elvira. More punk than goth, but I consider her. Nina Hagen, Lydia Lunch. Another controversial one, but I think she's done wonders for the goth subculture, Grace Jones. Not this! Not this! Hope this helps. Stop fetishizing goth women. Okay.
This might be a hot take, but those fake porn-starred goth girls should not make you want to stop wearing black lipstick. I know that most people are poking fun at it, but a lot of alt scenes have utilized black lipstick for a very long time, and it is actually very historically significant. Black lipstick originates all the way from ancient Egypt, and it has been incredibly hard to get it back on the market and as popularized as it is today. You shouldn't be afraid of presenting goth and wearing black lipstick just because these people are profiting off of our aesthetic and our subculture. It is a sign of rebellion and independence. Do not, and this goes with everything, let sexualization ruin the goth community for you. The history behind goth makeup is very interesting, and this subculture is beautiful.